Hi, this is Cindy Presgraves with Real Estate Divorce Single Parent. And I know I've been a little bit AWOL, but I wanted to say this time I wanted to talk to you guys about single parenting while being sick. So, guess what? Why didn't I have a podcast last week? Unless you guys wanted me to hear, like, hey, how you doing? You know what? My name is Carlos today. Then that's a total different story. But I felt completely awful. So, um, I went to visit my parents, and all of a sudden, I came back Monday and Tuesday. I was so exhausted that I was tired. I was tired. Then I got this sexy voice all of a sudden. You can hear a little bit in the background. I hope you guys are laughing because I sound awful. And I came to think about it because that day I had fever. I wasn't feeling well. People, is not COVID. It is not COVID. I promise it was not COVID. I had a COVID test. It was just like I had swallowed a lot of water, a lot of beach water that on that Sunday. And when you swallow like beach water, it's just like it was not on purpose because the waves were really, really harsh. They're really strong, and my kids love strong waves and I love strong waves, but I was actually, yeah. I mean, so okay, what the beach water does is it cleanses you. And you know what? It cleansed me really well because look at me. I'm still all like ah. But um so it got me thinking about, look, you know what? I'm a single parent. I have two little kids, a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old, and all of a sudden, like, you know what? The interesting facts is that as a single parent, when you get sick, who takes care of you? I've had this before, but I come to think about it, it's just like, if I had a normal job as a single parent, I would have been fired. I'm telling you, I would have been fired because even though as many sick days that I have and all that, I got my kids that get sick, I get myself sick, and I take good care I take I take good care of myself. But at the end of the day, I mean, we're all human beings, but we do need that time off. We do need that, you know, taking care of and all that. And honestly, I think the last time I got sick was like back in April or March. I rarely get sick just because I take good care of myself. It's really Health is really, really important. And you know what? For my next podcast, I'm probably going to bring someone that can talk about health and all that. So how is it important for us? Like mindset, affirmations, and all that. But my thing is today I want to focus more about single parenting, how hard it is. You know, I remember I flew in, and yes, I'm going to be coughing a little bit just because my voice is dry and I'm not fully recovered. But I do want to do this podcast because this is some things that we don't think about. They say, oh, you know what? Single parents, don't worry about it. They can do everything. But then, I got sick and I had my 5-year-old and my 7-year-old. I couldn't get up. I kid you not. I went to bed at 10 o'clock. I woke up the very next day at 11 o'clock. And I don't even know how many messages and missed calls I had, but I felt pretty awful. And I was like, all it came to me was like, you know, I'm single. The kid's dad we don't really communicate that often. I mean, he has different time zones and all that. But my thing is, how would actually someone find out if something really happened to me? You know, you can see my daily motivationals, or the things I post early in the morning, like good morning, this is Cindy, and with my kids, or but my thing is, what if something really were to happen? Who do you contact? Who does find out? I mean, even though the kids, they're like, hey, you know what, mommy's sleeping and all that, but if something severe were to happen, who would actually be your first point of contact? Or who would be that person that would actually come and check in on you? Like say, hey, are you okay? Is everything fine? I mean, and like I said, that day I was out, out, out. I did everything as possible make sure like, hey, you know what? I need to recover ASAP. I cannot be laying down. This is not me. And it took me a few days. And luckily, I have a friend. She actually has, she's a nurse practitioner. She has her own practice, but she does like um, supplements. She does like, I might be saying this incorrectly or so forth, but I told her, look, inject me vitamin D, any type of supplement, protein, anything you have to make me better. And she did. And I actually felt much better. I got a CPAC too. But it's about the little things that we don't talk and think about. You know, it's amazing sometimes when you're co-parenting, be like, hey, you know what? Take care of the kids. I'm feeling sick. Um, take the kids to school and all that. But in my case, I don't have that extra help. Like, hey, you know what? Can you take the kids today? No, I don't. And that's one of the things that I actually thought about like that day is like, wow, if something were to happen to me, okay, if I don't post anything on social media, people, something's wrong. Either I'm traveling or something's wrong, 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 wrong. It's really rare that I don't post on social media. I mean, you can go to my Instagram. I have a private Instagram and I have a um, Realtor Instagram too, and I have my Facebook as well. But and TikTok. If you don't see me posting on TikTok, you'll be like, what's going on? But now, seriously, talking about here, how do moms actually cope with that? Especially someone that has a Monday through Friday job, that their boss is like, hey, you know what? You can't. I know some bosses are flexible and understandable, and you need to bring a doctor's note. In my case, I'm my boss. I am my own boss. So yeah, I mean, my concern is like, hey, you know what? That day I got an email from the teachers like, hey, are the kids okay? Are the kids coming? Like, yes, they're coming. So they do check for the kids, which is awesome. I mean, I do like that a lot. But I mean, it's hard. It is hard because I remember that day my kids were saying, "Hey, mom, you haven't fed me." I'm like, "Really? You guys can just get something from the fridge at this point." I felt so awful. And these are things that, how to work a system. I would say having a system and talking to people. Forming that there's this lady I actually met on the plane. We became actually Facebook friends. She has I think she called it like a friends family or friendship family. So they're not family, they're not blood, but they're considered like a little community, and this is how they work it out. They all come together. If anybody needs anything, they go ahead and they build a system. Look, and some of them they even all live together. So I mean that works too because I mean they're all single parents, they're all single moms, but their exes or their kid's dad lives far away. So that's an alternative too. But like I said, it's also building a system. A system is very important. Letting your employer know that is no embarrassment whatsoever. I've heard I used to be a manager in the past and back in the day, not that old, but these are things that I would always work with my employees. Be like, hey, you know what? That's fine. I understand. You need to, kids are first. You need to put yourself first and then your kids. And why do I say put yourself first and then your kids? And you're gonna be like, oh gosh, this is gonna be like awful. No, because if you don't take care of yourself, how are you gonna be there for your kids? It's like I use the example of the airplane. When we talk about an airplane and there's something going on, the oxygen goes to who who do you put the mask on first? They tell you you put your own mask first and then you put the mask of the child. And this is basically the same thing. You need to put yourself first and then you take care of your kids. If you're not well enough, how are you going to be 100% there for your kids? Think about it. So that actually came to me. I mean, this is one of the reasons I work out every day. Yes. I work out every day. I do affirmations. I do gratitude. Having that right mindset. Yes, you're not going to be able to stop getting sick, but it's what are you doing to minimize that getting sick? to being to caring about yourself every single day. If you don't care for yourself, who else is going to care about you? If you don't care about yourself, how are you going to take care of your kids? And yes, some people being like, okay, why are you even saying this? Because it is true. It is true. We always need self-care. It is okay to hire a babysitter to go ahead. Yes. All right. Now that I mentioned babysitter, that was an alternative too. But I only have one babysitter. I have my really good friend, but look, I'm not gonna make my friend come over and like say, "Can you please take care of the kids or something?" No, I'm not gonna do that. I mean, she's she has her own kids, she has her own life and all that too. And sometimes that might be pridefulness too. And it's just like it is always good to ask for help. And yes, I'm basically going on back and forth with this. I have a really good friend that um she has three little kids and I love her so much and I would do anything to help her and I help her a lot. And in this case it's just like talking about pridefulness is always when you really need help, ask for help. People the people that are always going to want to help you, they're not going to get bothered. They're going to be appreciative. They're going to be like, and some people need to be, they need that to have okay, so ask for help, that's fine. When someone is asking for help or offering for you to help them, that is that is an invitation for them to just say, "Hey, you know what? Just count on me. You can sincerely count on me." And that's what I do for my friends. And yes, I know. In my case, I'm a little bit stubborn and hard-headed. I can't believe I'm saying this, but it is true. So take care of yourself. Think about things that you're doing to improve yourself, starting from your health, mental, emotionally, at all levels. What are you doing? What are you doing to actually help yourself become that best version for your kids? And not only for your kids, but yourself in all levels. It doesn't matter if you're a single parent or not, but this is really, really important. I've seen moms that they do everything for their kids and they just go over and over and over and over and over. And I'm like, but and I was one of those parents, don't get me wrong. So when I was a stay-at-home mom for 3 years from 2015 to 2018, July 2018. And there I actually discovered a lot of things. It was so hard for me to go ahead and leave my kids with someone else. Yes, because you're so protective over them. And don't get me wrong, it is good. But at the same time, you always need mommy time. And that's where I actually learned that too. And especially when they're babies, I mean, you got to make sure that you have the right babysitter, that you have the right person that is going to take care of them. It's like now I have learned that my kids are bigger, like I said, they're 5 and 7, and it's okay for them to just go ahead and spend a night with my friend at my friend's house or spend a whole summer with my parents, that's fine. Or you know what, when I go with my brother, they're like, here, bye. So that is basically like creating a whole spectrum of help, of being able to depend on people that you actually trust and love. And I'm not saying, hey, you know what, just get the first person that you meet in the street. No, do your research, do your background check, make sure that that person that you can actually trust. And if you have a gut feeling to say, no, run, don't do it, do not do it. So I know that's one of the things that we think about, we talk about, but me being sick this past week, and not only that, but it was not only me being sick that I wasn't able to do the podcast last week, but at the same time, I was actually filming. There is a new TV show coming out February 2022 called Agents on Fire with Kevin Harrington, and I am part of the cast. So I'm super excited. Um, I just came back from Clearwater a few days ago, so that is actually something in the works. We already filmed episode one. I can't wait for you to show you guys a sneak peek and all that. It is an amazing opportunity. It's such an honor to just be part of that crew. And we have the guy from Survivorship. His name is Nate Bailey. He was also in I think it's The Last Man, some Surviving Man or something. I cannot remember. Let me see if I can find it. And it is amazing. I mean, the people that I met there was so nice, and it's amazing. Okay, let me see here. I think it's, oh yeah, it's Surviving Man. And Nate Bailey is one of them, which is awesome. So you guys got to watch this episode. You guys got to stay tuned with that. So that's one of the reasons I couldn't film this past week. I mean, do my podcast, but I wanted to make something that, hey, you know what, things that we go through on a daily basis, and sometimes we don't even think about, or even, realize that how important it is. Because until I didn't get sick, I was like, well, imagine back then we didn't have DoorDash, Uber Eats, and now we do have all that. So if we get sick, it's just like, oh, okay, so then we can actually order food. But my thing is, what happens really in an emergency? Always create a point of contact. And if you're not feeling well, just tell someone, because it's really, really important. Even if the next door neighbor, or not even the next door neighbor, but if it's just a friend, someone that you communicate with on a daily basis. Is like my mom, you know what? I haven't talked to her in a few days. And then when I call her, she's like, hey, what's going on? Oh, I'm like, oh, okay, mom, sorry. But I've been feeling, oh, yeah, no wonder you haven't called. Yeah. So that's it. I mean, I Snapchat with my brother every single day, so he know what's going on, but he's traveling all the time. So keep in mind, always have a point of contact. And you know what? It's really important to have medication too. Always have um, robo, Robitussin, Robitussin. Vapor Rub, Vicks is good for everything. Okay, this is just a joke, but no, it is true. It actually helps open your lungs and all that. You don't have to use that. But it is really important, because whenever I look at my medicine cabinet, I'm like, oh wow, it's been a while since I actually um bought medications. So it is really, really important to look at your medicine cabinet, people. Look at your medicine cabinet. Have a supply, that things that are really important, like allergies, allergies. Um, you also have allergy, allergy medicine. You got Tylenol, or some sort of like ibuprofen. That's really good too, and vitamins. Keep in mind to drink vitamins every day. I'm actually starting this new program it's called the Maverick Plan. Can't wait to talk to you guys about it. I'm gonna try to get him to my podcast too. um, but it's about supplements. I Taking supplements and vitamins on a daily basis is something that would help your stomach and help you physically too. Eating healthy is really, really important. And sometimes, as a parent, as a person, as a business owner, we abandon ourselves. There's been so many women that I thought I was the only one. I know I'm not the only one, but um, that we just basically just forget to eat. Believe it or not, we forget to eat. Like, I ate so much today, and I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to eat. This is going to help me. This is what. So it's just creating a reminder, taking care of yourself. So this is why I started, like, today. I'm talking about today is Monday, back to basics thing, back to basics, because I was doing bars and shakes, and I can't deal with that well. I need to eat food. I need to make my own food. I need to go back to meal prep. Meal prep is amazing. And that's how you basically have food all the time on yourself. But I know today is going to be a short one, but I just wanted to let you guys know that think about those things. Create a, you know, start meeting people, connect with people. There's always people that are willing to help. And if you see yourself in a situation that you don't have anybody, there is always someone that you're not thinking about that is going to always give you a hand. I remember when I came to Gainesville, I was like, oh gosh, you know what? I'm sick. What am I going to do? Should I leave the kids there? But usually I keep the kids with me. I mean, because I mean, when you're sick, you don't want to. actually just drive and drop them off at daycare, be like, ah. But I mean, sometimes it just works that way. I mean, in my case, I basically slept on the couch whenever I was sick, or my bed too. But I mean, my 5-year-old came and cuddled with me. So there's a lot of things to think about. I would love to hear some comments from you guys and see what where you guys are at and what things would you guys do? I mean, things differently. I usually have a lot of things like snacking, like I have a lot of veggies. I have um fruits in my fridge, milk, yogurt. We're crazy about yogurt in this house, so we have lots of yogurt and cereal. I do keep cereal. I'm not the type of mom, but I do have cereal, and I have things that the kids can have. Edibles. No, not edibles. Like edible, like things that they can actually have, grab with a hand and like okay, so this is they can eat that and so forth. So they can make themselves. So making things easy, like they can make their own sandwich if they wanted to. I We don't eat peanut butter here, but we eat almond butter. So almond butter and jelly, or almond butter and um, bananas are good in a sandwich, or graham cookies and almond butter are so good. So always having things, be prepared. Be always prepared with this. This is what I'm saying. Make sure that you have the your medicine cabinet. Make sure that you have the useful, necessary things that you need. Ibuprofen again, Robitussin, things that are actually like allergy medicine too, that you don't have to go like, oh my gosh, do I need to order this? Do I need to DoorDash this? Do I need to Instacart this? Those are things, like I said, just think about things that you don't have right now that might be useful. And you know what? It's good to keep some by the bed too. Not even by the medicine, not in the medicine cabinet, but you know what? Just in case. I always keep water, and I always usually keep water in my by my bed. But these are some things to think about. So I'm gonna cut it short tonight. I hope you guys have an amazing day. And this is Cindy Presgraves with Real Estate Divorce Single Parent. Have a beautiful day.